All right, hey guys, what's going on? Today I just picked up my first little project where I'm gonna try and take this trunk that I picked up for $35. It's pretty hefty. It's got some pretty hefty wear to it, so we'll see what kind of magic we can do. All right, so it looks like we got some peeled up layers here. There's a lot of waviness to the top on that first ply layer. It's coming up on the edges over here. And then you can see a lot of missing ply layers on this back side. So I'm thinking the smart play here is to remove this top ply and see what we're working with on the bottom. Maybe we could come in and give that bottom layer a nice sanding, fill in any worked areas, and then give it a nice overcoating or something along those lines. Unless there's a way to go in and glue all this down to the bottom, but I really doubt it. I mean, you see how easily it's flaking up there. Probably the best bet is just to remove this layer and see if I can glue all this back right there. Maybe put some wood glue in there and then put some weight to it. So let's do that. right, so this is what it looks like with that top layer peeled off. There's more damage underneath it than I originally suspected, so I'm probably gonna hit that with a lot of wood glue and try and bond that back in place with some weight under it. I'll come back in and fill in these areas with some more wood glue, and then probably hit this in with some wood filler. That way we can get it all nice and pretty, and then I'll come down and sand all of this and give it a nice treating. What I'm gonna do is take some of this wood glue right here, try and clean out that bottom, apply that wood glue to it, put this on top, weigh it down with that weight, and just come back, see how it looks. I'm also gonna try and come in and fill a couple of these little areas just to get it started, just to see where I'm at. And then hopefully I can also apply a little bit in there just to try and get some of that. But fingers crossed, let's see what happens. All right, so we're making a little bit of progress here, starting to fill in these little edges. I've taken some wood glue and applied it to the edges out here so they are no longer sticking up. Missed a few spots right there, but it's making progress. Started filling in some of these deeper voided areas with some of that wood filler. Now don't hate me too much for it looking too terrible, but we'll end up coming in and sanding all of that down to make it look smooth and pretty. While that's drying, I'm gonna start sanding on this front edge just to see how that looks. Now, one of the things that I noticed here was that I got a little trimming missing from this side. Now, since I'm not a woodworker or anything, I think what I might just do is end up removing these two pieces just to even it all out, and hopefully it doesn't take away from it, but we're making progress. We'll get there. Alrighty, so I went through a first pass with the orbital and hit the sides and the front. I'm still waiting for this area to dry up a little bit, but I did get a lot of that top side, so it's looking a lot better. I'm gonna have to fill in some of these areas. Of course, I just wanted to get the area cleaned up, get those area sides out. And then also that trim that was missing on this left side over here, I did pull that trimming from the other two sides, but so far, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is what it looks like after about an hour and a half of sanding. I did have to do some work here on the bottom feet, not just filling in the voided areas, but these bottom pieces were loose, so I had to go in and secure that with some hardware. Same on this other side. So I know it looks pretty rough right now, but I do have to go in and finish up a few more rounds of sanding to get it nice and smooth, and then prep it up for some paint. So I don't think that a dark finish or a vinyl is gonna look good. I need to definitely come in and do some more rework on this rounded edge, fill in some of those voided areas. But what I'll probably end up doing is just going in with a layer of primer and then a layer of overcoat. So I just need to come up with some cool paint designs that'll look good on this thing. Maybe I'll varnish the bottom just to bring out that pattern right there. So stay tuned. All right, so here's the latest update on the project. I've gone through and have done a final sanding on it. I've gotten this to the point where I think it's gonna be okay. I might fill in a little bit of this right here. It just feels out of contour a little bit. But what was cool is that now I can finally say that this thing actually works, because I went in and replaced that little latching mechanism right there. So now it'll finally lock into place here, keeping the trunk locked. So that's pretty nice. This is the front side here. I'm gonna keep the back side just as it is because I like that dark look to it. I'll still give it a wipe down, but this is what it looks like immediately before I primer it and then start to paint it. All right, guys, so this is right after the first pass of epoxy primer. I know it doesn't look that good, but I just wanted to get a first layer on there. That way I can come in with about 2 overcoats of paint and hopefully get this thing looking to a final product. It took me about, I'd say about 35, 40 minutes to get this thing fully primered, and so far I'm really liking the way it's coming out. All right, so here is the first pass of the overcoat that I'm going to use on this this trunk. I have not done the lid just yet, but looking good so far. First coating on top. It's about what it's going to look like towards the end. I am going to come in and give it one little smooth sanding on top with a pretty fine abrasive paper to knock down any little high ridges or something. But so far, looking pretty good. Okay, so this is the final product. Didn't get the top to be 100% the way I wanted to, but I'll tell you what, it does look a lot better. And then here's that inside. So I did go through and I cleaned up this metal strip right here so it could pop out a little bit more. And then gave the inside a pretty good cleaning. For the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with the way it came out. If you enjoyed this video, if it inspired you to go out and do something similar, please give me a thumbs up or a like. Here's that backside. Like I said, I kept that backside just the way it was. I like the way that kind of weathered wooden look complements this piece. But so I'm going to be putting this up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. If it does sell, I will post it up in the comments to tell you what that profit is. But hope you enjoyed. Thank you.